Well, good morning and welcome back to our pilgrimage through the summer. Today is day 16 at the Institute for Priestly Formation, as well as Tuesday of the 10th week in Ordinary Time. Again, today here at IPF, we have two groups that are on campus. The first group is the seminarians in the 10-week summer program, and the second group are the priests who are here for the seminar for seminary spiritual directors, learning more about spiritual direction. Again, today the seminarians have two classes. The first in the morning is on celibacy and sexuality, and the second class in the afternoon is in reference to kind of unpacking the unique spirituality of the diocesan priest. For the seminar for seminary spiritual directors, they are in class today, again, their second day class, and going through further refinements as to what is spiritual direction and what it is not. Of everything that's happening on campus today, I'm drawn today with the seminarians in the class that they'll take in the afternoon. And in the afternoon, we're going to introduce a term to them called monasticism of the heart. And that's a little label that we use from Father George Ashenburner's book on diocesan priestly spirituality that articulates a posture of the heart. And what he says is that a diocesan priest does not live in a monastery. He lives in the world. He lives in a parish. He lives in a very busy setting. He's not withdrawn from the world at a monastery. At a monastery, it's easy for you to be with God all day long because you are removed from the world, and the atmosphere of the monastery disposes you to receptivity in communion with God. However, in the diocesan priest, even though he's in the world, he needs to have a monastery of the heart. He needs to have a monasticism of the heart, where his heart is always with God. In the midst of the busyness of his life and perhaps the unpredictable nature of his calendar, he needs to always be with the Lord. There needs to be a monastery, a monasticism of the heart, where he's always with God. And so if you were at IPF today, we would probably talk to you about the fact that you live in a very busy world. You know, our world's moving at a pace that's faster than ever. And just because the external circumstances of your day are often changing, whether it's the fact that the kids are home from school for the summer and your schedule has completely changed, or whether it's because in retired life there are factors in regards to your health or the health of the people that you love that often change. There are lots of things that happen in our lives, external circumstances that tug at us, that move our lives here and there. And a lot of those external circumstances can influence our interior disposition. In our lives, in your life as a layperson, it's important for you to know that your heart needs to be anchored and centered on the Lord in the midst of all those things. God is always there for you. The question is, are we disposed to God? Are we in relationship, in communion with God in the midst of an ever-changing world? I think far too often it's easy for us to feel God's presence as so influenced by what's going on around us. So if the atmosphere is right, then it's easy for us to feel God. But if the atmosphere is off, if things are busy, if drama enters your life, or if tragedy enters, boy, then it's real hard to experience God. It's really important for you to know today that the external circumstances are not more powerful than God's desire. Let me say that again. The external circumstances of your life, whether they are extreme with death or really like suffering in your life, or whether it's just the busyness of the day, the external circumstances of your life are not more powerful than God's desire. And God's desire is to be with us always. So as God is with you always, it is important for us to know that our hearts need to be disposed to his presence. A monasticism of your heart, you might say. So here's a little homework for you today. If you were at IPF, we'd probably ask you to do the following. Just today, just go through today, and throughout the day, just ask God to show you where he is. Maybe he's with you through a conversation with somebody else. Maybe there's just a gentle presence that's there. Maybe he's just in your will and in your thoughts. But throughout the day, periodically throughout the day, see if you can just ask God to show you where he is. Regardless of how busy the day might be, or how crazy the day might be, ask God to show you where he is throughout the day. And before you go to bed, look back on the day and ask God to show you where he was. And if we do that today, tomorrow, for the weeks to come, then we will be more receptive to God in the midst of it all, a God who is always, always with us. God bless you.